It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Welcome. October has started and Halloween is coming up. Today, Bruce would like to talk about trick-or-treating, decorating, and then why it isn't the same as it used to be. In other words, he's going to whine about Gen X old people memories from his childhood again. Oh well, here we go. Let's get started, shall we?
So Halloween, as long as I can remember, has always been my favorite holiday. It's I don't know, it's creepy, it's scary. The horror movies come out. And I love horror movies. That's one of the best things I love about Halloween. Last year I did a Halloween special talking about some of my favorite horror movies. I'm not going to do that this year. Actually, my Halloween special last year, Jenner Custom Toys Halloween special, got a whole 71 views. Yeah, probably one of the worst, least popular videos I've ever made. But I don't care. I had fun doing it. And I'm going to have fun doing this video we're going to do right now. What I want to talk about tonight is something I've noticed over the years about Halloween, and nobody wants to participate anymore. I'm sure the kids still trick or treat, but I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So, yeah, I was born 68. So when I was out trick or treating, it would have been the 70s. And I lived in a small town, not a bad town. That's a town. That's where I grew up at, little town on the outskirts of Greensburg, Pennsylvania. And all the neighbors used to decorate their houses for Halloween. Some would go all out. Some would just put a few things up, just to keep it in the spirit of the things. And we would go out trick-or-treating. And the first difference I noticed is when we were kids, we would go out trick-or-treating. I think we left the house about 6 o'clock. But I swear we were out to like 10 or 11 trick-or-treating, going house to house, getting candy. Nowadays, in this area now, it's I don't live that far from where I grew up. It's 6 to 8 on Halloween night, every Halloween. And that's fine, but I don't know. When I was a little kid, I would have wanted to go longer. Now, it was a lot different back in the 70s going around trick-or-treating because there wasn't a lot of creepazoids out there trying to do bad things. We just didn't worry about that. We didn't have a problem with that back then. We were Gen X kids. We were used to running around the streets all by ourselves anyway. Sure, the little ones would get taken out by their parents, but, once you reach a certain age, you're just going to go, here's a bag, go get some candy. And your parents didn't worry about you. And if you came home, great. If not, well, I don't know. I don't think they might have cared. It's a Gen X thing. Gen X people understand that. Nowadays, trick-or-treating is so different, even just for the kids. Just on a rudimentary level, like I said, it's from 6 to 8 now. They get 2 hours to go around and collect their candy. I personally don't think it's enough for the children. As an adult, having to hand out the candy, 2 hours is enough. But I'm thinking from the kids' point of view, because it's for the kids. The trick-or-treating is for the kids. Let them have their fun. Let them have their memories. But another thing I have noticed around Halloween is, like I said, people always decorated their house somehow. Somehow. Some people went all out. I still go all out at this day. In fact, I'm the only one on my street who actually decorates for Halloween. A few other people put a couple things up, a couple things in the windows here and there. But I am still, to this day, 56 years old, still basically the Halloween version of Griswolding my house every year. I've been working on that all day. When it is done, maybe I'll throw a quick, shorter video up to show you what the house looks like, because I just like doing it. I like giving kids the memories, because I have a lot of good memories from Halloween when I was a kid. So, and someone had to give me those memories. And I remember the neighbors that we used to mess with. I remember the neighbor that used to deck his house out and answer the door and try to scare the hell out of us. I want to be that guy. I want to be the one to give the kids the memories. And that's what I try to do every year. This year we have something special planned. I'm not going to say what it is, but we got something special planned for the kids. I'm looking forward to it. They're going to love it. It's going to give them a good memory. Still don't want to give any spoilers in case my neighbors are watching my videos, because you never know. Now, the costumes from the 1970s compared to 2023, well, I have to use 2023 because the Halloweeners haven't come out yet. Wieners. The costumes we had in the 70s were, what was it, Ben something or another. They were just plastic, cheap costumes that you get your little kids. I think they cost literally like $2. With Ben Casey, I want to say Ben Casey. I feel like I'm wrong on that. Leave it in the comments if I'm wrong. I used to know this. I put it in my Halloween special last year and showed some costumes. In fact, I made a big deal about a costume I was forced to wear for a few years because my parents were too cheap to spend $3 to get me a new costume each year. But that's a whole other thing. And I think my childhood has something to do with why I like Halloween so much. Because after the little kids are gone, I love to go out to bars dressed up in full costume, winning costume contests, having fun with my wife and my friends. We're still into that. And yes, we're old, but we're still into that. Now, that was the thing back in the 70s, too. Couples would go out a lot, and they'd have adult Halloween parties, costume parties. We still do it today, but not on the level we did back in the 70s and 80s. And it kind of bums me out because Halloween is, like, so fun. In fact, in this area, I DJ'd, used to DJ do karaoke for about 25 years. I stopped doing it probably, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years ago. And my wife actually took over, so because she didn't want to let the business go. I just got tired of it. I didn't want to do it anymore. But our Halloween parties were epic. I mean, in Western Pennsylvania, we were the people to go see for Halloween parties. We had costume contests with like 30, 40 contestants in the bars and pubs or whatever, in the clubs. And we just always had a blast with that. And myself included, I love dressing up. If you've ever seen any of my other videos where I talk about it or even look at my Facebook page, I always try to have a really good costume every year. I don't think I've ever duplicated myself except for one time when I did Captain Spaulding, but I had to. But I'm trying to stay focused on the kids right now. The kids today going around with the Halloween costumes that their parents bought them and everything, they're okay. They're okay. You know, the younger kids always had the better costumes, you know, because the parents buy them and you know, they're trying to keep their kids into it. And I like that. I love that. Let them build their memories, you know, going around Halloween. But let them come to my house so I can scare the hell out of them. And they do. And they'll always remember old man Bruce down at the last house on the left scaring them at Halloween just to get a stupid Snickers bar or a Reese's cup. It's another thing. The candy that they gave out. Growing up, most families that were giving out candy in the 70s and 80s, you get something half decent, you know, little fun-sized Snickers bar, Three Musketeers. My favorite is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, of course. And then you get the old lady to give away like peppermints and stuff she saved up from going to Pizza Hut. Those little round peppermint sucker things that no one really liked. And there's always candy you couldn't stand. You give that to your little brother if you had one. I didn't, but yeah. And then of course you get home and your parents would steal what they wanted, so you're left with what's left. And then we always had the guy on the block that gave out stupid shit like apples or they didn't do the juice boxes back then. They did the juice boxes in the 90s when my kids were growing up. Which juice box isn't too bad, though. I mean, could be worse. And now, of course, the dentist that lived down the street, he'd give you a toothbrush and some dental floss. Who the hell wants that? Kids want candy. Don't give them stupid stuff. Give them candy they like. And the super bubble gum, the stuff you couldn't even chew. Even when I had teeth, I couldn't chew that stuff. No, don't do that. They still do that to this day. Stuff they buy at the dollar store. No, it's Halloween. It's for the kids. Especially if you have kids. If your kid's going around collecting candy, you better be giving out candy, even if you put a bowl on the front with the honor system, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I, last year, had to leave the house during candy giving out time for the last hour. So I put a bowl of candy out, and we have always the little Snickers bars, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, you know, the good stuff. Twizzlers, too. That's a good one. And I put a sign on it. Please take one. Happy Halloween. Oh, yeah, you're on camera. And they were. I got home and I watched all the kids that come up to the bowl. And you know what? There was a lot of kids, too. A lot of older kids, too. Not one of those kids made a pig out of themselves. There was a couple that took 2 pieces, but that's okay, you know. But no one took the maybe because they knew they were on camera. I don't know. Because I was going to make a YouTube video about that if any little bastard came over and stole all the candy. But nobody did it. And there was like 30, 40 kids that came after I left the house. And they all took 1. Some took 2. That's okay. You know, and then they moved on. So I haven't lost faith in children. I lost faith in adults a long time ago. But sometimes back in the 70s and 80s, like if you had a kid and you're taking the kid out Halloween, well, you want to see your kid Halloween, especially if they're younger. So you don't have a choice. You leave the bowl there. I'm sorry. We used to take the whole bowl. Sorry about that. I just had a really bad coughing fit. I haven't been feeling too good lately. I hope I remember to cut that out. In that last video I forgot to cut a burp out. Somebody pointed it out. Okay, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, when we were little kids, if somebody left the whole bowl out, with on the honor system, take one, we'd take the whole bowl. It was a no-brainer. We just did. Yeah, we're jerks for doing it, but we did it. But yeah, I noticed last year, I did put a sign up saying you're on camera. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. But like I said, 30, 40 kids came by, took the candy. There was even some left whenever we got home. And I didn't see anybody taking a ridiculous amount. I saw like 2, 3 kids take like 2 pieces. That doesn't bother me. Okay, got 2 pieces, no problem. But, we used to take the whole bowl. So what else is different with the kids yesterday or back then and today? Not really that much. There's a lot of older kids that go out now. When I was a kid, my dad wouldn't let me go Halloweening, trick-or-treating, whatever you want to call it. We always called it Halloweening. I wasn't allowed to go trick-or-treating past the age of 10, which to this day I still think that was ridiculous, but you have to understand how my dad was. My dad just liked to suck the fun out of the holidays, or anytime he saw anybody having fun during the holidays, he'd do something to ruin it. So, yeah, 10 years old, I wasn't allowed to do it anymore. Okay, fine, That's, like I said, it's another reason why I pretty much like Halloween. I would go I wish I had grandchildren, because I would go trick-or-treating with them right now. I went trick-or-treating with my daughters when they were younger in the 90s, and I had a lot of fun. We all got dressed up. That's whenever the Phantom Menace came out, and my daughters wanted to go as Star Wars characters, so I just happened to have a Darth Vader costume. So we went all around the town. I was dressed as Darth Vader. My other daughter was Princess Leia. My other daughter was Queen Amidala. And we had so much fun. Just so much fun. And that's what Halloween's about. But I could go into the history and everything, which I did in last year's Halloween special. I'm not going to go into the history. I'm just simply going to talk about the fun we used to have compared to today's fun. So, that's the fun part about it, is getting up, dressed up in a costume, even if it's not a good costume. In a little child's mind, they think they're a dinosaur. They think they're Casper. They think they're a Pokemon. They think they're whatever they're dressing up as. And they get to do that for a night and become another person. Same with me whenever me and my wife and my friends, and for that one night, we go out, we can just be obnoxious. Last year, one of my costumes was Frankenstein. Very good Frankenstein costume. I had a suit on. I had a rubber mask. Very good rubber mask. And I actually won a costume contest with that. And I wasn't even trying. I was just being a jerk. This year's going to be a little harder, though, with this beard. And don't leave in the comments that I can be Santa Claus, because no. But if you do have an idea what I can be for Halloween with this massive beard, yeah, let me know. Because usually I shave everything off and I start from scratch for Halloween. This year, I need the beard for Christmas, and you're going to see why coming up. Okay, adults. Let's talk about the adults' view of Halloween. I kind of got the adult view of Halloween in the 90s whenever I was married and divorced and then raising my kids by myself. You got to have the candy. I still decorated because I love decorating. But the candy thing, when you want to take your kids trick-or-treating, but you're by yourself, you're a single parent, but you still have to give out candy, what do? Well, there's only one thing you can do, is put a big bowl on the porch and hope for the best. That's all you can do. Unless you have a friend that'll come sit and do it. You do what you got to do. In the 70s, like I said, most people, 70s and 80s, most people decorated their house, no problem. In the 70s and 80s, we didn't have people that just didn't give out candy. Now they have it. Oh, the rule is if their porch light's on, they're giving out candy. You can go to their house. And half the houses in this area where I live don't even bother decorating. They don't even put like a jack-o'-lantern on the window or anything. And as far as handing out candy, I like my neighbors. I have a whole vast age group of neighbors. New couple across the street. They just had a baby. They're really nice people. I don't think they gave out candy last year. They don't decorate their house. People next door to me, very nice couple again. They weren't home last year, and they don't decorate their house. Actually, nobody on the street decorates their house except for me and a guy down in the corner, who they have 2 kids, and they put some nice Halloween stuff up. But then they go trick or treating and leave the bowl on the porch too. You have to. But you go the whole way up my street, and that's where the older people live, and they don't do anything. They don't decorate. They don't put nothing out. Half of them have their porch lights out. They don't even bother giving out candy, even though they're home. Now, see, the way I look at that, case in point, my kids used to go out trick-or-treating. So It's all a collective. It's like, okay, they went and took so much candy from the neighborhood. It's my job to pitch in and keep that tradition going to give back in. A lot of people don't feel that way. They feel, well, I don't have kids, I don't have to do it. Do a community thing, man. I'm not saying deck your house out like mine, make your house a full-blown haunted house in the front yard. I just go a little nuts. But it's for the kids. Let them have the one night. It's like $10 worth of candy, And don't do the apple thing. Don't do the toothbrush thing. Don't do the hard tack candy thing. And if you don't like answering the door every 5 minutes for kids, then stay in your house. Keep your porch light on. Put a bucket of candy out there. Let them have something. Because that's what the kids want. They want to go out and they want to get candy. And ages. Like I was saying, when I was little, the age group, my parents made me stop when I was 10. A few kids went further than that. About the average age of whenever people got forced to stop doing trick-or-treating was about 13. About 13. I called it hunting age, which was actually 12. Nowadays, I see kids coming up and down. They get older and older and older. And some people complain about that. Oh, you're too old for that. Let them have it, man. Let them have it. They're not doing no harm. So they're getting candy. Whoop-de-doo. They could be doing worse things. They could be out drinking underage, or they could be, or just staying home playing video games. If they want to get dressed up and do Halloween and do trick-or-treating, hey, let them. What are they hurting? A couple more points and then I'll be done. I want to talk about tricks, because you can't have trick-or-treat without tricks and treats. So what kind of pranks are people playing nowadays? When I was a kid, we used to toilet paper houses and trees. I'm just going to say it because I don't really think any little kids are going to be watching this. We used to throw corn at houses and run like hell, and that was always fun. We used to blow up mailboxes with M80s. That was stupid and dangerous, but we did it. Hey, Gen X, we did all kind of stupid shit. We used to soap windows. We used to take a bar of hand soap and wet it down and just scribble on people's windows. Harmless, but a big pain in the ass. We didn't really do much damage when I was a kid with the Halloween pranks. I can't remember ever actually doing anything that horrible other than blowing up a mailbox. Yeah, leave in the comments what kind of pranks you used to do when you were a kid. Or if you're doing pranks this year, what you're going to do. This year, I don't know. Last year, I didn't hear very many pranks going on. I mean, I live in a pretty good neighborhood. There are a lot of kids, but they just don't really prank anybody around here. I know one year, for some reason, I found like a dozen oranges in my front yard. Never could figure out why that was there. It didn't hurt nothing. I just found these random oranges. So no one's ever really corned the house here. No one's blown up my mailbox. Yeah, no one's really pranked me that much here at all. Or my neighbors. I haven't heard about any good pranks going on. Do they even still prank anymore? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. So I touched on the differences between Halloween when I was a kid and Halloween today, the best I could come up with. I want to talk about etiquette. What is etiquette? Etiquette is basically the way you behave. Now, there's etiquette for the candy givers and the candy takers. So it's not just for the kids for their trick-or-treating etiquette. So we'll start with the kids, though, because that's the easiest one. Kids should be taught trick-or-treat. You go to somebody's house, you say trick-or-treat. If you want to do the rhyme, trick-or-treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat, that's cool, too. A lot of kids don't really want to do that. They think it's dumb. And it kind of is. But hey, if they want to do it, let them. And then, of course, the adult gives them a treat, assuming they're there. And you say thank you, and happy Halloween, and bye-bye on your way. If a kid happens to go to a house that doesn't have anybody there, let's say they're out taking their own kids trick-or-treating, and there's a bowl there, honor system, take one, maybe two. I won't tell nobody. And then you go away. That's pretty much you need for kid etiquette. Teach them to use the sidewalks. That's the problem we have here. People cutting down to their driveway. They don't realize my dogs get tied out there and they walk in, poop. Try to keep it clean. Not always. There's a sidewalk and stairs right there for that purpose. So use people's sidewalks. Use their stairs, Don't go wandering in their yard because you don't know. They might have a great day and you're stepping in a landmine. Because I'm pretty sure my dog is part Egyptian because it keeps leaving pyramids in the yard. Something to think about. Hey, I don't care. You're the one that has to clean their shoes. Yeah, other than that, that's about it. Oh, the lights nowadays. Yeah, the kids have to, they have to see if the porch light's not on. They just bypass the house, whether it's decorated or not. If the porch light's out, that means in my neighborhood, I don't know if it's that way across the country or not. That's another question. Do they do that across the country? Do you use the porch light rule? If the porch light's on, come get your candy. If the porch light's off, they're done. It means either they ran out or they're just not home and they're being jerks. I'd like to know about that. Put it in the comments. That's about enough for kid etiquette. Now, adult etiquette and responsibilities for Halloween is a little bit different. We're adults, so we're going to have more responsibilities. I'm sorry, it is your job to decorate a little bit at your house to just stay in the spirit of it, to make sure the kids have a good night. Like I said, I basically use the Halloween version of Griswolding my house because I love Halloween, and I always continue to do so until I'm not able to do it anymore. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that guy. I'm always that guy. What you need to do is just get a few decorations. If you can't afford them, dollar store. If you can't spend $5 to decorate your house, then I feel sorry for you. I'll give you the $5. Well, no, I'm not going to give you the $5. Who knows how many people are going to watch this? $5 is easy to come by. So you go to a dollar store, put some kind of decoration on your front door, on your window. I don't know, hang a witch on the porch roof. I mean, whatever you can think of. Just something just to say, hey, I'm acknowledging Halloween. I hope you kids have a good time. That's important. If you don't believe in Halloween for some religious reason, well, I get that. And I'm not going to get political, and you do what you got to do when it comes to that reason. I'm not even going to look down on you for it. It is what it is. So, yeah, and when should you put your Halloween decorations up? That's a good question. Me, I put them up when I have time. I happen to be working on them right now. I started yesterday, and I'll probably finish them. Well, it started thunderstorming today, which is kind of one of the reasons I'm doing this video. Probably finish them tomorrow. That's early for me. I feel like maybe 2 weeks before Halloween is perfect. Because, you do some work. You want to admire the house for a little while. And, okay, that's some etiquette there. And go into the Halloween night. Whatever time you little trick-or-treaters come around, be ready for them. And it'd be even cooler. They love when you dress up, too. So put something on. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. You could, well, that's up to you. You'll find something. Just get a little cheesy mask and put it on, or some little cute, stupid cat ears or something. I don't know. Kids come to your door. You open the door, give them the candy. Hope they say trick or treat, because that's kind of how that works. There is a lot of kids that don't say anything or thank you. And that's up to the parents. Teach your kids to say thank you. It's not that hard. So you get something, you say thank you. Lost art right there. If you can't be at home for trick or treat, throw a bowl full of I almost said food. Throw a bowl full of candy out there and let the kids take it. You want them to take one. I'm not saying all neighborhoods are as nice as mine. You're going to have a neighborhood with some asshole's going to take them all. And you know what? At least you made the effort. You put the bowl out there. Kids come up and see it's empty. They know some other kid took it all. They're not going to blame you. If you have to take your own kid out trick-or-treating, like I said, same thing. Leave the bowl there with the candy on it. It's not that hard. Not that hard. That way everybody's kids can have a good Halloween just like we did growing up. And well, those are my thoughts about etiquette and differences between Halloween from the 70s and now. I have a lot more to say, but this video would be ridiculously long. I don't know if I'm going to do a Halloween special. Like I said, last year I did one. I put a lot of work into it, and nobody watched it. If you want to, rewind to my videos and watch it. But it was basically a history of Halloween and some of my favorite movies. Tonight I just want to talk about etiquette and differences between us now and us way back then. Hope you guys have a good Halloween. I may or may not talk about Halloween again. It's only October 6th, I think. Yep. We'll see. Anyway, be good to each other. I will talk to you next time. Bye.
As you can clearly see, Bruce really likes Halloween. He's just a big weird kid at heart. What's up with that beard, though? I know he makes toys, but over this past year, I think he's turning into some kind of evil Santa Claus or something. Stay tuned for more weirdness.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.